Hi, everybody. Null and Void News. Yeah. For Friday, October the 14th, 2016. Hi, good evening. You're hanging out. If you are, my name is David Null, a.k.a. Hawkeye Two Feathers, my Native American name, which I'm very proud of, by the way. And sorry for the delay in 7 minutes in hooking up. I had to go back downstairs, reset my modem. Nothing was working all of a sudden. At 10:30, everything was fine. I put up the promos for this, for this evening and everything. And I'm like, okay, let me get my stuff. I'm going to head upstairs now, back to the office, and I'll do it back there. I'll do the live stream for up in the office like I've been trying to do. And lo and behold, what do? I fall up the stairs. Boom, crash, everything across the floor. It's Friday. Thank goodness the 13th was yesterday, and we ain't not carrying this over. And anyway, if you see me bending over rubbing my leg, I got a bad left knee from playing football way back in the day, like in 1967, I think it was. And that light in the background is just not right, is it? That ain't going to work. That's brighter than I'm used to. The other bulb burned out, and I replaced it with that one, and I'm not quite happy with that. Thank you for tuning in if you have, and I want to go over the news today because everything was just absolutely... Can things get any crazier, my friends? I mean, seriously. Can things... Let's just talk about stupid, okay? Let's just forget about all this other kind of stuff. Let's just talk about stupid, all right? Now, I'm sitting here at my house. Now, this is back in 92, I think. Minding my own business when a helicopter flies over my backyard. Next thing I know, I got cop cars and everything. I run down to the woods because I know what I have in the woods, okay? I got 6 pot plants in some 5-gallon buckets. And that year, by golly, it was so dry, nothing would grow. I mean, nothing would grow. Well, they were looking for pot plants and other things, and they were flying over our wood swamp area because I didn't know it, but a few years earlier, they had busted a neighbor of mine for growing in his backyard. And I just had 6, maybe 8 buckets, 5-gallon buckets. And I mean that. Like, out of the 8, I'm going to say 8, I don't think there was 10, that one of them was orange. And they said they spotted that thing from that helicopter from a mile away and went zoom right to it. Well, my point is I was minding my own business in my own house, in my own yard, 19 acres in the swamp. What am I doing? I got a little bit of weed that I'm trying to grow myself, for myself, not for anybody else, for my own personal use. These guys fly in and say, ooh, look. And the next thing I know, there are people crashing through the weeds and everything, and I'm hauled off to jail. Now, all they got was a little bit better than an ounce of weed off of all that. They were so embarrassed that the governor of Georgia told them not to prosecute me because they found out that I had epilepsy. While I was in prison for the few days they wanted to keep me, and then they found out, oh, holy crap, they lost my medicine while I was in the local calaboose, and I get 5 years probation, thousands of dollars of fines. I do all, I have to do community service. I have to give up my driver's license. Oh my God. Over an ounce of weed. An ounce of a weed. Not cocaine, no guns. I wasn't out on the street trying to shoot anybody. I wasn't anywhere. I was in my house, in my yard, minding my own business. Okay, Hawkeye, calm down, you say. Hillary is running for president. What? Uh, are you nuts? I get thousands of dollars of fines. And I was a poor man back there. I've got 3 operations. They went through here 3 times, operated on my neck. They didn't fix it the 3rd time. They ain't going back in. But I've had a lot of problems with this. Couldn't use my hands. I literally was in a neck brace for 2.5 years. And I don't mean a soft collar neither. I'm talking about a SOMI brace, okay? Sternoccipital mobile inhibitor, SOMI. Big old thing that holds you like this and it locks you into place, you know, and you can't move your head at all. It was the next thing up would have been one of them things I think they call a halo. Now, why am I on this tirade tonight? You say, Hawkeye, Mr. Day, what's so wrong with you? Well, because these people are committing treason, fraud. In some cases, I know that these people, like the guy that was supposed to testify the next day about something for Hillary. He was crushed to death by a barbell set. The day before. And the list goes on. I think right now there is a list of approximately 100 dead people associated with the Clintons one way or another. And I don't give a darn what you say. Folks are trying to pass this Vince Foster thing off from way back when Clinton's was in. It was spooky, sneaky, weird then, and it's spooky, weird, sneaky now. And the guy from the DNC that got killed just before the convention, the poor guy right there in D.C. around the corner from his house or something like that, murdered on the street in the early morning, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning or something, you know, was going to pass off information to someone, and they killed him. Oh, no, he's murdered somebody, you know, he was, and somebody was going to, yeah. No, that's not true. Because these people are the Southern Mafia. What? Whoa. You know, the Dixie Mafia, some might call. Now, some of the people who are really in the Dixie Mafia might take offense to that. And I mean that very literally. In that George Bush is from up north and transplanted to Texas. You know, he's not a real Texan. And then George Bush Jr., what a sleazeball slimeball that George Bush Jr. is. He was president for 8 years, for God's sakes. Well, I knew he was a ditz. And we all knew after 9/11 who was yanking the strings, and that was Dick Cheney, who needs to be hung. Do you hear me? He needs to be hung. He needs to be hung by the neck until dead. Why? Murder, treason. Oh my God. 9/11. There are reports of folks who asked Dick Cheney, sir, there is a plane coming in. Do you want us to stop it or whatever the thing was? And his words were, no. Did anybody tell you to stop what was going on? And so they had live things going on that day. They also turned the Twin Towers, and the people that left with inside it turned it into dust. Now, if you don't think these people are off their rocker, huh? What you say, Dave? Huh? Listen now, let me tell you now, these people are nuts. Why off their wacko, mate? You understand what I'm talking about here? These guys need to have the brains pulled out to the ears, you know what I mean, mate? They need to be what did they call that thing a long time ago? You know, they stick something up your nose. Oh, no, wait, that was a slobotomy. Where they poke things in through your eyeballs and up to your nose. Yeah, that's what they need to do to Dick Cheney. And then they need to have all the people who'd been raped by him and his cohorts
They should ban Dick Cheney. Well, I don't know. George Bush Jr., I think, likes it too much. But they ought to tie him up beside Dick Cheney. And Condoleezza Rice, of course, I don't know about, not bend her over too. And Colin Powell. Now, Colin. And let's talk about colon for a moment. You know, his colon should be colonized by people buggering him, bend him over the same place. Just line them up. And anybody that wants to bugger these individuals that did these things should bugger them. And I mean bugger them as many times as they want to bugger them. You hear me?
Well, now, folks, Dave says, do you really want to do that? Do you really, really want to go that far? We know that Dick Cheney is a sleazeball. I mean, like top-notch sleaze. I mean, the next other sleazeball I can think of would be Henry Kissinger, who should be bent over and buggered along with the rest of them. Do you hear me? We should have a buggering of a good time. Bugger these individuals before we hang them. Now, you might say, oh, Mr. Dave, that's just way too much. Hang on here. Hang on. You need to take off your little rose-colored glasses if you be wearing them. And you need to take them off, and you need to go, wait a minute. And you need to sit down and look at all of the facts. And I don't mean by what CBS and NBC and ABC want to show you. No, because they're in it too. Yes. The mainstream media, MSN, and I don't mean Microsoft, but the mainstream media are in collusions with the Bushes because they went along with the 911 thing, went Dick Cheney and everybody. I mean, these people had their scripts before the event. Oh, remember Building 7? Yeah. Now, that was in 2001. This is 15 slobbering. And I got a problem. I've had an infection with my lower jaw, and my jaw was swelled up, and I'm still not quite back to normal talking yet. But 2001, you know, 9/11, God bless all the people that were just turned to dust that day. We have no idea where them poor folks are, but rest in peace. My prayers with the families and all the relatives and everybody that has been affected with this. However, now I do want to state this. We need to drop this as far as carrying animosity or too much anger, too much piss-offiness. We just need to take the facts forward. Because when we start getting emotional with things, like I just did a few minutes ago, then it looks stupid to people. But if you take the facts and you say, here is a video from ABC News. I'm not sure. I know that there was one from an ABC News where they had the reporter on the streets with Building 7 behind them. It had not fallen. There was nothing wrong. But somehow a fire had broken out. Now, let me ask you, if the two twin towers fall and nothing falls on Building 7, how does it catch fire? And then how does it just... Oh, wait. Everybody get out. Get out. They cleared the streets before it happened. And then Building 7 went down. Now, we all know that this is a fact. Nothing hit that building. Nothing hit that building. But they tied it in with the two towers. Well, wait a minute. The two towers were hit by something, they say. Actually, that was a hologram that they projected. They were trying out some new software. And the airplane, the second plane that went in, y'all look at the video. You can see parts of the airplane disappear. The other thing is that I would ask you to do a simple Google search about low speed airplane crashes. Okay, like off of the runway and hit something. I don't mean like, ah! No, low speed. A telephone pole, which is a tree, will tear the wing of a jetliner to shreds. Did you hear what I said? A telephone pole will tear the wing off of a 747 or any other airliner for that matter. And you're trying to tell me that this airplane, 727, whatever it was, doesn't matter because it was a big airliner, right? You're trying to tell me that this thing went into that building and the entire airplane disappeared into the airplane? All of it? No. No. I worked on airplanes. I used to work at Mall Aircraft in Moultrie, Georgia. Okay? I helped work in the wing department. I worked in the machine shop for a long time. Many years, long time. I worked in the door department, building the doors for these small craft. Now, you say, wow, but that's just a small airplane. No, wait a minute. Hang on. This is special, listen here closely, aircraft aluminum. Aircraft aluminum. They had to use the same aluminum and the same types of fasteners, the same types of cables, the same types of a bunch of other stuff, because they had on site all the time, 40 hours a week, a person who worked for the Federal FAA. He had to check every single part that we made in the machine shop, because they had to be not to the drawing specifications, which were very strict, I might add, but they had to be correct to FFA regulations. Now, this is a 4-seater airplane. Okay, you can get 5 if you squeeze one in the back, or 3 small ones in the back seat. Okay, maybe 5. Wonderful airplanes. They held the record for a long time. Maybe they still do for short takeoff or landing. These things will fly at like 42 miles an hour. It looks like they're hovering in the sky. The state of California bought a bunch of them back when I worked for them, and they bought them, guess what, for highway patrol, because they were so slow they could literally hover and just watch what was going on. And a lot cheaper than a helicopter, a lot less cheaper to operate, maintain, etc. Now you say, well, Dave, what's that got to do with all of this, and what's that got to do with Hillary, and what's this got to do with Dick Cheney? What's that got to do with today? She's still running for president. They haven't arrested Dick Cheney. Obama is part of this, y'all. His little bombing over there of all, oh, look, let's watch them guys. We got the bastard. Watching the drone killings. Oh, yeah, and Hillary and them sitting in the war room watching on real live TV them blow somebody up and cheering. I'm sorry. I don't wish to cheer for anybody to die unless it's them, maybe, like Dick Cheney. Oh, I would clap to see that man hang, because he's evil, vile, mean, bad, and nasty, and has killed other people and is responsible for a whole world of mess. He just didn't just rob a store down the street. No, come on, you know. Donald Rumsfeld, yeah, okay. Condoleezza Rice, yeah, I think I already mentioned her. And now, what about what's going on now? The DOJ, Comey, and the FBI? Are you serious? Have you watched this man? He's the leader of the FBI? What's in the news now? Well, him and Gowdy have had another round in Congress this week, and I think his name is Trey Gowdy. God bless you, Mr. Gowdy. Go for the throat. This man is being paid by you and me, us, all of us, to make sure that what's going on in the United States is up on it's on board level and being done the way it's supposed to be. Not, oh, Hillary is a little stupid and she had her own private home server. That is against the law. When the day she took her oath of office, she signed a piece of paper that said, you will abide by this, and this, and this, and this. And one of those things on the list was to not have any private emails out. That you will use the government's so that everything is, supposedly safe and firewalled and protected. National secrecy. But Hillary said, meh, to everybody, said, I want my own because I have a BlackBerry. Tough! With all the technology, you mean you couldn't have run through a fake something into the server? No. She didn't ask. She told them what she was going to do. And because Colin Powell had kind of done some of the same thing, she just said, I'll do it too. But she was doing it. Now, nobody's checked up on Colin Powell yet. What was he up to? That man he flat out just pissed me off. He's a general? I mean, Colin, what? They must have threatened him by killing his family. That's all I can think of. Because one day he was like, oh, we didn't do this. And the next day he's out there making up stuff about, well, there are those that we think the Al-Qaeda and Taliban, they're the ones that, and we're going to, Colin, you lying SOB. You need to be bent over and buggered with the rest of them. Okay, we're going to have a buggering party for whoever wants it. And apparently these days it's all the rage. Who would have known? Now, okay, what's this got to do with now, Dave? Well, because they're going to try it over again. You know what they did a couple of days ago? They're blaming Russia for everything. They're blaming Russia because there was a hurricane last week. They're blaming Russia, for the drought in California. They're blaming Russia for the WikiLeaks. Wait, hang on. WikiLeaks, listen up, WikiLeaks is a repository, not a suppository, although some of these should go up somebody's bum, but it is a repository, meaning that's a place where you can go dump stuff. And it is like a big garbage can, in a way, except it ain't garbage to you and me if we go picking through the trash can and go, oh, holy crap. They set Bernie Sanders up? Holy crap, you mean he won? You mean he won in California? Holy moly. You mean he won in New York? Oh, crap. You mean, oh, man. Oh, they did bust people to different precincts to vote. Holy mackerel. It's their emails. They're not denying it. That's the biggie. They're going, oh, well, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? You're treasonous. That's what's the big deal. You are treasonous, people. Treason, not a reason, reason. Meaning you should be put in a tree for the reason and hung like they did in the old days. And I don't mean give you a shot in the arm first. I'm talking stripped naked, whipped like Jesus was, and hung in public for everybody to throw rocks at or whatever. Now, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, where does this continue to go, Mr. Dave? Oh my God, you're running me in circles. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that we are at Defcon 3? Do you know what that means? I just heard it earlier. I thought it went the other way, but if Defcon 5 means Well, you know, somebody flew over Florida. We didn't really like it, and we think might have been a Russian bomber, but so we just putting this alert out. That's 5. 4 is a little bit more serious. All right, guys, we got planes flying up and around, and we've got an AWAC plane keeping an eye out, and Defcon 3 is like, okay, this fighter wing is going to patrol the East Coast. This fighter wing is going to patrol the Gulf of Mexico. This one's going to patrol the West Coast. These guys are on alert on a battleship, and they're going to put out from Virginia, that port up in Virginia. Anyway, and they're going to go out and they're going to watch the waters, and we're going to have sub searchers out there pinging in case there's any Russian or maybe North Korean subs out there. Maybe there's a Korean sub. Maybe just by golly there's a Japanese sub, because we're the ones that blew up Fukushima for them. Bunch of folks have got a reason to want to get back at us, because we've been going around the world. I mean the United States corporation. I don't mean us, because we don't think we're part of the corporation, but we are, whether we like it or not. Hillary's running for president. Donald Trump touched some girl's wangy thing. Bill Clinton has raped a bunch, probably killed a few, and dumped them in the woods in Arkansas. Bill Clinton has bent us over and buggered us in so many ways. NAFTA, 800 people that I know lost their jobs because of that man. Oh, well, he wasn't directly responsible. Yeah, he was. He set it up with all the corporate guys. All of South Georgia. We've lost a lot of manufacturing jobs. And people are now just working for Walmart or working for Applebee's. That's not a job. We had people who were very smart and intelligent, who were doing really, really cool and good stuff to make America proud. Not anymore. They sent them down to Mexico because they said, well, if you stupid Americans up here can learn this, them Mexicans, they can learn it too. Well, 2 years after they started moving stuff down there, they were still complaining. They were asking folks back up here, well, we're going to rehire you for a couple of weeks because we got in a bind. Will you come in? We're not going to hire you, but we'll hire you through this temp agency. And so that's what they did. They fired everybody, and then 3 weeks later called some of them back in through the temp agency while their jobs were being moved to Mexico. What's this got to do with Hillary? Hillary wants the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership thing, which makes NAFTA look like a pimple on a giant. And I'm talking about a tiny pimple on a big giant, okay? So, why am I so up in arms today? Because she's not in jail. And friends of mine are because of a little bit of weed. Or because they, God forbid, they missed a payment on the child support payment. Why? Because they were in jail. And when they got out of jail, they were picked back up and thrown back into jail because they didn't have time, because they lost their job because they got picked up and thrown in jail. So as soon as they get out of jail, they're expected to make a payment for the 2 weeks that they were in jail for child support. So when they can't come up with the money, they pick them up and throw them back in jail again. And Hillary is still running for president. She wants war with Putin and Russia. She wants to kill another couple of million more people like she has in Syria and Libya, Gaddafi. Just go look through the news. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I know I'm a little whacked in the head. I've had some severe head concussions. Well, that should make me not understand this, correct? I mean, if I've had a brain concussion and I'm supposed to be, no, I'm not. If somebody with a brain concussion can see through this finagly boomash, make up a bunch of words and stuff. We don't need to go to war with Putin. There is no reason. And every time they bring up the Ukraine was part of Russia. The Ukraine was part of Russia before the United States was the United States. They want Ukraine, and they want these other areas. Why? Because Joe Biden, the vice president, along with Obama, Biden's son works for an oil company over there. Really? Oh, now I didn't know that. No. 65% of the country hates the guy that's in office. The guy in office was put there by guess who? The CIA. So over 65% of the population says we hate this man. But the CIA made sure he was in there, right? It's okay. But because those people are now who live in the country, who used to be part of Russia and want to be part of Russia and want us out because they're, quote, the rebels now and want to stop this, all of a sudden we got to start a war with them. Because the president or who the dictator of their country, who isn't liked by most of the people in the country, but because we, the United States, put him in, we have to back him, we have to make sure everything goes on right. We are going to start a war with the bear? With Russia? Do you feel like you're living in the Twilight Zone? I am, because I'm null. I'm null and void. Do you understand? I feel like these people have shoved my brain out into space about 1,000,000 miles because there's no way this stuff should be happening. Do you get my drift? All of this should be in the void. It must be in a void. Because how can these people keep doing it? Don't we have law enforcement officers that they arrested me for 8 little plants of pot and sent me to jail? I was minding my own business. Hillary, on the other hand, selling Oregon while there are folks in prison over there, in federal prison, because they were sitting in a wildlife refuge, which wasn't occupied by anyone. And if anybody pays attention to wildlife refuges, you can go in and occupy them. It's a refuge. You can go in. You can camp. You can hang out, as long as you don't destroy anything. That's part of the issue. The Bundys and them, Santilli and all the others. Oh, but they hurt stuff. No, they took video. They went in and cleaned up the place. And they have video. They have witnesses. Now, the feds got all this tied up. Hillary's running for president. Why? Because if these guys get out, well, that wouldn't be good. Because then that would prove that Hillary was involved, the Clinton Foundation, in finagling the uranium rights for the farm out there and the ranch out there, that those guys were protesting to try to save it because of what's going on now. So we have ignored everything else. We've put other people in jail who really aren't guilty of anything except saying, I don't like this, stop. You got to go to the training camp. Off you go, federal prison, bye-bye. See ya. Ladies and gentlemen, this is null and void news. And if you don't feel like you have been shoved into a space void and have been rocketed to another universe to where when you wake up in the morning and you look at the TV and you go, what the hell is going on here? Who made this mess and how did we get here? Well, welcome to the void, y'all, because all of this news is null and void in my opinion, and should be said so. Throw Hillary in prison. Should Trump be president? I don't know, but I sure don't want Hillary, and any other vote for anybody else ain't gonna get it. I even thought about not voting this time, but I'm not. I'm not saying yet I am gonna vote for Trump, but I'm really leaning that away, and the reason is because I want to go like this to the establishment. That's my only way. I refuse to vote for Hillary, and if I don't vote at all, she could win. They wanted to win anyway. But if me, who was a lifetime Democrat till this crap, and of course Obama 4 years before this, I don't know what I am now. Am I a moderate? Am I a liberal? I thought I was a liberal, but I hate what the liberals are doing. So that's why I'm a redneck hippie. I'm a hippie. I love everybody. Flowers, this and that, ooh, and this, that, part, la, la, la. What are these people up to now? Some of this LGBT stuff is like, what are you people doing? Up in the 60s and 70s and into the 80s, people did their own thing, but it was their own thing. They didn't go out and go, I'm gay and you better recognize me, damn it! Oh, stop. I'm white and not gay. Recognize me, damn it! Are you kidding? Stop it, y'all. I want recognized. I have a little weenie and I feel like a girl. Recognize me, damn it! Did you just see how stupid that looked and sounded? But when these people stand up and do what they're doing, that's what they're doing. Now, I'm probably going to piss a lot of you off. I'm not saying, look, I have a sister who's gay. I have a granddaughter who is gay and happily married with another young lady. Wonderful to them. But they're not outside going, I'm gay, look at me. No. They just are, and they're living their life. There's nothing wrong with that. What's with these other folks? I'm sorry, I'm gay and I'm proud. Well, I'm not gay and I'm proud. Does that mean I should have a parade? I'm trying to be sensible here, all right? Someone has pushed the button for anybody who isn't straight. Do they have to go out and demonstrate they're gay or whatever they are-ness now? Back in the hippie days, we just were. We were just hippies. Well, this one's gay. Well, I'm a lesbian. No. Oh, well, okay. Well, maybe the three of us could get together. That might be fun, but maybe not. Okay. Let's all be happy and live together. Okay. Now, I'm gay, damn it! And you better listen, bear. I'll kill you. I mean, what? Well, they say that hippies were started by the CIA and the FBI. Timothy Leary and some of them went back, and even they say now the the Grateful Dead. They're saying that the Grateful Dead was actually a CIA group who went around passing out acid on purpose. Why didn't they get busted? I always kind of wondered about that. But so they were CIA based, so that they could mess up a bunch of people's minds and get them into a mindset and do a mind control experiment. Amazing. And you know what? If you check, you'll find information now that actually it's true. I know, I was shocked too. So, do you think any of this really matters? Well, yeah, hell it does. But here's the other point. Should we be tolerating this mess? Should we be looking at the TV going, well, damn, they're doing some more craziness? Should we allow it? Or should we, like me right now, speak up? Now, I've been trying for the last year and a half, and between YouTube, Windows, and the internet in general, I've had videos deleted. I've had 3 computers come down with viruses and absolutely get totally wiped, gone. This I'm using now is my little Chromebook, and God bless its little self. I got to turn everything else off so it'll run. But I'm expecting. I got my Windows laptop over here. Finally, it's stable, and I had it on YouTube earlier. I'm fixing to log off of this and start my midnight ramblings thing. I'm going to take a quick break. So if anybody caught the last end of this, which there's nobody viewing right now, but that's all right. I'm going to keep it up because here's the deal. For me, it's not about subscribers. Yes, it would be nice to have subscribers. Yes, it would be nice to have a little bit of income, but from what I hear from some of these other YouTubers, it's not worth the hassle. Now, I'm on limited income. I need teeth badly. These need to come out. I need money. But this channel is not about money. I may run an ad later on because I'm having problems with my teeth, but that's a separate issue. The channel is not about me, except it is about me speaking out. That's what it's about. It's not about so much what I say, but it is about a different point of view. And if you people can't see the void they're trying to put in your head to ignore the absolute ludicrous, craziest stuff I have ever in my adult life of 64 years seen, or in history, for goodness sake. Lord have mercy, folks. We have got to do something. Now, I don't mean pick up a gun, but if there was enough of us with a broom, and I mean 100,000 of us, I don't mean just a couple, but if 100,000 of us walked down through the streets of Washington, D.C., and went into Congress while they were conducting Congress, when the president was in his little old White House with his feet up in the war room, go and collect his butt and throw him out onto the street and occupy the White House? No bloodshed, no guns. I'm just talking about 100,000 people going and saying, you're not coming back in here no more. You're going to have to kill us all 100,000 of us. But we're not moving until this gets fixed. That's how we do it. It doesn't have to be guns. Read about the people in Iceland, what they did. They caught the bankers that cost them all the money. They just charged 2 more, I think, and gave them prison sentences or whatever. They all went in there and said, no more, yanked them up and carried them out. We can do the same, but we don't have any unity. We don't have a cause. You know, there are a lot of us thought that Bernie was going to be our cause. And I still got this little weird thing in the back of my head that, you know, maybe, but the way it's looking, they paid him off and they told him, if you mess with us, we're going to kill your grandkids. That's what they told him. When, it was right after like one of the last primaries. And it was a big deal that, ooh, Bernie's going in to see, you know, the president. He was in there for 2 hours, and he went in there with his head up, and when he came out, his head was down. They told that man that him and his family were going to get nuked if he did not cooperate. That's what happened. And Bernie's been trying along in the fringe like he has for all these years. But if he even said, well, you know, Hillary, if you step down, I'll take your place, they'd shoot him and his family. Yeah. It'll come out. You wait. It'll come out. Give it a couple of years. When Bill caught, what's her name, the in charge of the Department of Justice right now? Oh, yeah. Oh, when she got off of her plane and went to his, and they had this little chat, and then all of a sudden she decides 3 days later she's not going to charge Hillary. Both of them should be in federal prison. Both of them and Hillary. Okay? Just because of that one thing, the two of them should be in jail. Bill Clinton and the DOJ lady. Okay? I can't think of her name right now. That's okay. All right. So, null and void news for Friday night, October the 14th, 2014. All the things in the news. Russia shows a new microwave oven. Microwave oven. Well, sort of. A new microwave weapon that can focus a beam for up to at least a half a mile to knock a drone out of the sky. And it pointed at a human being can fry their insides and make their brain feel weird and think other thoughts. The Russians came out to show the world that they had a new secret weapon. Now, why would Putin allow the world to see the Russians' new microwave weapon to shoot down drones and to get aimed at human beings and to microwave them from the inside, from a half a mile away? Why would Putin do that? Because the police, like in Missouri, Ferguson, they showed the big microwave dishes on those MRAP things. What do you think they're for? They're for turning people's brains into jello and make them so irritable that they want to kill. So, Putin shows his new secret weapon, which is supposed to be the strongest in the world. Why would he do that? One simple answer. He did it because he wanted the people in America to see the types of weapons that are being used on them now. But Putin's supposed to be a bad guy, right? No. Putin's on our side. He doesn't want war. He does not want war. I'm sorry. Okay, go to RT, TV, YouTube, whatever. Now, if you watch what they're showing of Putin, you watch what the people of Russia and how they support him, because he has changed. He found Jesus again. People say, well, yeah, he used to work for the KGB. Well, I didn't know that Putin was my age. He just turned 64. We were both born in the same year. Oh, you go, Vlad. And he's got beautiful blue eyes too. I mean, I got blue eyes too, but his is like purdy, man. I know I'm not for guys, but he's got some purdy eyes. But he turned his life around several years ago. His wife divorced him, kind of thing, over it. Now there are rumors. I don't want to push this too much, but that there were space brothers and sisters who came down and said, hey, Vlad, look, you need to change your way here, because if you don't, you're going to get wiped out with the rest of them idiots. Now, do you really want to do that, or do you want to save your country? Which is really, when he was in the KGB, that's what he was doing. He was trying to find people who were trying to I don't know, make the government look bad and give out secrets and etc. And in the meantime, you know, he wanted to keep up with, you know, America and all these other countries that wanted to get into Russia. Well, I think at some point, especially after, you know, tear the wall down with Reagan and everything, that there was a change of thought going, you know what? Communism really ain't working here because the people hate us, you know. But if we bring in manufacturing and people can work and everybody can get a decent, now we've got to start off, because we have been kind of backwards in this. We've got to start off where everybody's kind of making equal here until we get things rolling. But instead of saying, well, you can't have an iPod in Russia, they can have iPods in Russia, okay? I mean, they can have things that they didn't used to be able to have. And you go, Vlad, I'm on your side, brother. I'm just 2.5 weeks older than you, brother, and I'm on your side, my man, I tell you. He told his people and the military and government to get rid of all of Microsoft software on their computers. Want to know why? Because when Windows 10 came out last year, when it wrecked my computers and your computers and everybody else's, Putin said, that's enough. Get them out. We refuse to have anything Windows running our equipment of any kind in the government. And he is, I'm not sure, but he is strongly suggesting that other people get rid of Windows as well. You go, Brother Vlad, and the rest of us in America, we need to sue Billy Gates for what he did to our older computers, knowing damn well and good Windows 7 wasn't going to take the drivers that Windows 10 had. Messed up both of my laptops. I'm too old for those drivers. I can't upgrade the hardware in the dang thing. And NVIDIA, it's a beautiful software piece, and the hardware still works, but it won't, the new driver, which got deleted because of the updates for Windows 10, they deleted the driver, then went looking for a new one, and then Windows said can't find one, and then couldn't find the old one. So now I can't find any. So every time my computer comes on, I don't know what the picture's going to look like because it keeps changing on me. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. Now on Void News! Oh, Friday, crazy Friday, crazy week. Oh my God. Does all this need to be out there in the void? You bet your little bippy sweet bippy it does. So, this is your hippy dippy, and this is in honor of George Carlin. God bless you, son. This is your hippy dippy swamp redneck down here in the South Georgia area, near the little town of Meigs, Georgia, bringing you the united and international news that needs to be in the void. In other words, it needs to be in the garbage can, and the people involved, most of them need to be in jail. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. Bless you all. May God shine good things upon you. And those of you who haven't found the Spirit, a lot of you don't want to talk about God. Okay, but have you found the Spirit? Have you found your heart? My prayer is that you find that goodness in your heart and you keep it there, because that's what God is. God is love. God is compassion. God is kindness. God is honesty. God is truth. That's what God is. And if you can be those things, then you have the Spirit in you. And from me to you, God bless you. Have a good weekend. Be safe, be kind, be compassionate, and most of all, keep your powder dry, because you don't know, we might need it sometime soon. All right? So I love y'all. Be good, and I'll see you on the flip side. I'm going for a break and come back and do the Midnight Rambling with the Redneck Hippie.